publish names of outside members of political parties, sympathizers of political parties, those persons of even the perspective will have their names forwarded to our National Assembly for appointment of the INEC Electoral Commission. This portends a lot of data for a free and fair election from 2023. And I think all Nigerians to rise up to the occasion and insist that we should abide by whatever the concern the Electoral Act says.
All right, Tunde Kolawole, let's also look at the leadership newspaper this morning. Former military head of state, IBB, has mentioned that Nigeria's problems have defied cosmetic solutions. We're talking about Ibrahim Babangida. Tunde Kolawole.
Please, can you repeat that, please?
So on the leadership newspaper, we have the former military president, Ibrahim Babangida, saying that Nigeria's problems have defied cosmetic solutions. And you also have him saying leadership must be occupied by competent and visionary individuals.
Yeah, it's interesting that ICC has been talking a lot with regard to good governance. This is a man who has had 8 years to rule this country and who has had all the opportunity to give us good government. But rather than give us good government, what did he do? He tried to cancel or he ignored the best election that was ever conducted in the history of this country. That's what a man will have to recommend to us what he considered would be opportunity to have good governance, to have free and fair elections. Baffles me as a person. In all the laws that they make it in the history of the country, they wouldn't have been taken of the things that they are saying. So it is not the fault of the people or the law that we have, but rather it is the fault of the people who have been responsible for the management of the country.
So, but as a follow-up, I mean, if you... Okay, so we definitely, we have a team of, technical engineers working on it, and I'm sure that we can restore and have proper audio where we have a smooth, communications. We apologize for all of that, but Tunde Kolawole, as soon as we're able to connect with you, definitely get back. With the issue of having, the former military head of state saying the president saying that the issue of Nigeria goes beyond cosmetics. I'm thinking that we're talking about surface issues at this point. I mean, there are a lot of issues that we need to look at the root causes. So it just goes beyond saying we're treating some of the symptoms. For instance, the issue of security, if you look at it, you want to find out that it's actually encompassing across the entire country. So in different parts of the country, you have different, the issues are not they're not the same. So you have issues coming out of the fact that some persons are saying, hey, we're dissatisfied with how resources are being allocated and how we're being treated. And so all of the security issues emanating from that. You also have, the fact that you have a group of persons who are terrorizing or killing people randomly. And so the issues are quite different. And if we have to address it, it wouldn't just be saying, hey, we have more security personnel. All right, so Tunde Kolawole, it's good to have you join us. Let's have you. Yes, Tunde Kolawole. So the conversation, you say you do not agree with the former military president of Nigeria, and you say you don't agree with him when he talks about cosmetic solutions tonight. And that's also a problem. And so if we have to address the issue, then we need to go to the root of it.
because of their attitude to better politics, and then because of both of the leaders issue, rather than approach problems from a very patriotic perspective, from a very local perspective, from what will benefit the health of the Nigerian people. They usually will go for constructive solutions for problems. And that is why we are having this problem. I give you an example. The Lagos State government just tried to establish the blue and the red state line or whatever they call it. Will you believe it that between 1979 and 1983, the Alhaji Dakande government had paid for the establishment of a monorail in Lagos State. As far back as 1983, and then the President Muhammadu Buhari, when he came in as President of State in 1984, he just outrightly cancelled that contract without looking at the length of that process. Even though when Alhaji Dakande has paid upfront for the rail line, and the contractors have begun work, we lost that opportunity. Also look at the rail consulted the work.
And we're told they've set up a transition committee and harmonization council as well. And the details of that, it says that a new party to square up to the All Progressives Congress and the People's Democratic Party in the 2023 general elections is already putting finishing touches to its registration in order to contest the next year's election. Names being mentioned in relation to this are the likes of Atairu Jaga, professor, former INEC national chairman, and Patu Tomi, professor as well, Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso, Kingsley Mugalu, Obi Ezekwesili, and a host of others. We all know what happened the last time Patu Tomi and co., including a former Kwara State governor, had a sort of a symposium where they were talking about coming up with a third force, and the next the EFCC picked up the file of that former, I think it was the EFCC went to seal his property. We've heard of this third force before. Do you think that this is something that we should, take notice of?
Well, honestly speaking, if we are to cognizance our history as a nation, especially our recent history, I don't see how the proposals that are being made with regard to this major political party will work. You and I will know the problems we have or the problems that they because or the other. Simply because the party does not grow organically. If it has grown organically, if they have started from the foundation and built to stop, gathered strength, contested and won election, and their principles and their ideology are concordant, are similar. In terms of members, the APC, for example, is about the we have also talked about the effort of party to that in the past. It didn't work. When you also look at the group that are being mentioned now, the effort that will be invested within the labor, there are both capital in terms of vision, in terms of ability to.
Tunde Kolawole for being part of the conversation. We really appreciate your thoughts and your time on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Quite interesting with those stories. So many stories, so little time to analyze all of them. But the Breakfast and Plus TV Africa continues. We have a look at what happened today in history. And when we return, we dive straight into our first major conversation on the program this morning. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
If it wasn't trending in the entertainment industry, then we will definitely be talking about it.
We bring you the funny, controversial, and hottest topics making waves in the entertainment scene worldwide.
We also interview all your favorite celebrities and keep you locked down with fun segments and live performances.
Poverty has never been thinner. Conflicts, poverty, insecurity, and environmental challenges daily confront the region. How can the Niger Delta story be changed for the better?
Join Mamude Akuga at 9 p.m. every Friday evening on PlusTvAfrica as he probes deep in search of solutions.
Inside the Niger Delta with Mamude Akuga, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region.
It is engagement we need to have.
Those who suffer miscarriages are never taken into account.
Members of the National Assembly are also when push comes to shove.
It's another political conversation. It's about keeping you in the know. The relevant interviews, asking the tough questions to those that matter. Get the answers you need. Does it mean that the people who were injured, people who were shot at, those who were involved in that stampede are not going to get justice?
It is unfortunate, it is sad that we have a government of deaf and dumb.
Analysis from top experts.
The last election was not really an
Welcome back. You're still watching The Breakfast on PlusTvAfrica, and now to our first major conversation. It's almost 48 hours after queues resurfaced in Lagos and other parts of Nigeria, and almost 48 hours after those queues resurfaced, a tweet by a federal government agency languished for others who are still figuring any statement about the situation the last time we checked. Now, joining us to throw some light and to give us explanations and some analysis into this situation, we have Mark Adebayo, who is a public affairs analyst, and also Nick Agule. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us and welcome to The Breakfast on PlusTvAfrica.
Thank you so much. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. What do you make of the statement put out by... Start with you, Mr. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. So there's a lot of opaqueness in the petroleum industry in Nigeria, and the earlier that is tackled, the better. The major problem we have. Okay, for instance, now you can see that NATO, the National Association of Road Transport Owners, are threatening strike, claiming they are being owed 45 billion naira in bridging costs. But they claim that they buy automatic.
We seem to be having some issues with Mr. Adebayo's network connection. We apologize for that. But Mr. Agule, are you there, please?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, we'll try to reconnect with Mark Adebayo. Your own take on the okay, Mark Adebayo, can you hear us? Okay, you have
now claim that they are being owed 45 billion naira in bridging costs. That is this money they pay them bridging costs because of the high cost of alternative gas oil, to which they need to buy 430 naira per litre. So the federal government pays them what they call a bridging cost. But the chief executive officer of NMDPRA, Farouk Ahmed, claimed that between December 2021 and February this year, the federal government has paid the transporters 2.7 billion naira as bridging cost. So now there's a lot of opaqueness. Now the issue here is that who regulates, who monitors this bridging cost? How do they make the claims? How did they come to the fact that they were paid 52.7 billion between December and now the settlement for scarcity of petroleum products is skyrocketing, is further worsening the inflation rate in the country and eating deep into the pockets of the ordinary masses. And that is where we should look into. I mean, I cannot understand why the government will keep quiet in this type of way. By now, not being able to carry their loved ones to the hospital.
Mr. Adebayo, thank you very much. Yeah. Interesting, you've pointed out who's going to pay and asking some important questions. Nika Gule, this press release by the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, which is a regulatory agency in that sector, gives some, but we're not even told the quantity is very limited, without giving a specific amount of
producing country. And as an oil producing country, we should be refining our crude oil and turning it into petroleum products. We rely on other countries to refine our own crude oil and send it back to us. Have we considered national security? Oil producing country in the whole world that is doing this. How is Nigeria going to survive as a country since we don't have capacity? Now, we as citizens of Nigeria we are facing here, nobody knows about clean to us. Don't impact on the whole nation, and we demand that the government.
Then it would mean that the people didn't.
Who will be punished for bringing petroleum products that are have high content of methanol and ethanol to the country, and commuters, who are either paying for knocked down engines or people who are missing their who are the people who are responsible? And this direct purchase DSDP initiative of the drawing salaries, billions of naira worth of salaries every month. And you begin to wonder what kind of country is that? That refinery workers doing nothing and collecting billions of.
A statement that yes, they are ensuring that the